Hello, children. I'm Charles Darwin, and it seems I've forgotten my glasses. This here is my assistant, Maximilian. Maximilian?
Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god!
Oh, there you are. Did you get a haircut, Maximilian? You look different. Anyway, we're here today to talk to you about evolution. What's that, Maximilian? You don't know what evolution is? Why, it's a personal discovery of mine. Did I ever tell you about the Galapagos? When I was a young lad, I studied the changes in animal populations while visiting the Galapagos Islands. On a specific island, I observed many generations of a species of birds. Some birds had big beaks, and some birds had small beaks. The birds with big beaks could easily eat more of the many seeds of the island, and thus lived more prosperously. The birds with the small beaks ended up with less food, and thus died. In future generations, more birds were born with big beaks, and the big-beaked birds took over the island. Well, Maximilian, evolution happens because physical variations, like the difference in beak size of the birds, occur naturally within a population. These variations are caused by mutations in the genes, which will change over many generations. No, Maximilian, genes! They are the blueprints that are inherited from your parents. They determine your traits and everything about you. Genes are made up of
deoxyribonucleic acid,
or DNA, which consists of smaller pieces called nucleotides. These pieces make up a code, which is read by the proteins in your cells. Essentially, nucleotides are like puzzle pieces that combine to form you. They determine things like how big the teeth of a dinosaur are, or even the color of your eyes. Precisely. That's why genes are so important. Over the generations, they are passed down from parents to children. However, sometimes a piece of a gene goes missing, or is confused by the proteins. This is called a mutation. These mutations can be beneficial, or not. For example, giraffes used to have short necks, which caused problems finding food in the savannah. One day, a giraffe was born with a longer neck. He could reach the leaves on the top of the trees and had plenty of food. He lived longer than the other giraffes and had more giraffe babies. These giraffe babies also lived long, fruitful lives and passed on that trait. Eventually, all giraffes had longer necks. Why, yes, Maximilian, that is an example of natural selection. Natural selection is when traits that are beneficial to a species become more common in a population. This is often because the particular trait makes the individual live longer and reproduce more. Another way to think about natural selection is survival of the fittest. A more successfully adapted organism can deny limited resources to another. That's why us humans are around, Maximilian, and not the dinosaurs. They just couldn't survive in the conditions after the asteroid hit. But smaller organisms could, and then, over time, these organisms evolved, branching out into thousands of species. Humans, with their big brains and use of tools, became the most successful, and even drove other species to extinction. That's the power of evolution. Now, Maximilian, it seems I must be off to the optometrist. That's an eye doctor, kids. Charles Darwin. Hello, children. Babies. Babies. More giraffe babies.